gentlemen, we're back with your favorite culture and lifestyle show, The Shifters. My name is Kevin Bourne, and across from me is 1/3 of The Shifters.
Yo, it's Vlad 18 in the house. You already know what's popping, everybody.
Yes, sir.
1/3 of the shifter because we got one shifter missing, but we got a better looking one to make up for her. I'm sorry, LJ.
Yes.
It is what it is.
What can I say? What can I say?
Very first time on the couch, our music and culture columnist from shiftermagazine.com. You introduce yourself there.
Yes, sir. Reda, Zarrug. Appreciate you guys having me here.
For sure.
It's going to be an exciting episode.
Oh, yeah, it will.
Yes.
See if we can kick LJ off. See what happens.
It's a lot of testosterone done on the couches today. You need a female presence. But and next to him, this has been like a long time in the making.
Oh,
you
yes,
know?
it has.
We've been talking about this for a long time. Having Salem on our own couch, the hip hop historian. He's like LeBron, hip hop historian,
Wouldn't go that far, but yeah.
an
hip-hop
encyclopedia of hip hop history. No joking.
That's so much pressure. That's so much pressure.
Pressure's on, right?
Yeah,
like a random
it's
question.
crazy.
No, I'm definitely big on hip hop. What's up, y'all? I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, man. So first of all, you're I've been messing up your name for a long time because I've been calling you SVLM. You're like the JID you're like the JID of Ottawa music. You're like, is it SVLM or Salem? What is it?
So it's Salem. So it's my last name, Salem, which means peace. But we chose SVLM. It was a branding decision. It was easier to find so that people, when you look up SVLM, I'm the only thing that comes up. That's what I wanted. I didn't want any confusion. I was going as Salem for a little while. The problem was there's like 5,000 other people named Salem.
Right.
And at some points when I was uploading my music, I would have my music uploaded under some girl named Salem in Boston. And she did Christian music.
Okay.
And then her Christian music would be under my name. Not that I'm against Christian music, but it just didn't make any sense. And people would hit me up and be like, yo, that's different.
Yeah.
That's different.
I can only imagine the messages she must have gotten.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that would be crazy on her end. So we made that decision, and it worked out pretty well. As far as what people should be calling me, I mean, I'm happy with both, but it's Salem. It means peace, so it is Salem. SVLM means Salem.
That's a good last
But if you
name.
call me, if you say SVLM, I'm still going to answer because I mean, who else is going to answer to SVLM really?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's
My
true.
other last name is Harab, which is war.
This is unreal.
Peace in war.
This is unreal.
Yeah, you
Wow.
get it. You
Yo,
just
yeah,
said-
it's unreal. Your
so-
parents set that up, bro.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
So one of your parents had the last name Peace and the other one had War?
Yeah.
So we
Wow.
got
Are they okay? They get along well, I guess.
They do. I mean, I think they're coming up on 30 years.
Okay, that's
So,
good.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a good contrast. Peace
Yeah,
and War.
that's
That's
what's up.
cool, man.
That's unreal.
You should call the album called Peace and War.
I'm working on something.
Oh,
You know, who knows? But no, I'm happy with my last name, and I really wanted to keep that. I experimented with a couple of other things. We went by some other names.
So what are some of those names?
Well, I think we tried his other one. It was Treasure Cruise. I went by my first name too, Jad.
Okay.
And then I went Jad Salem. And then we went to Salem. And I'm not going to discuss some of the other ones. Those ones are low key. If you remember them, you remember them. Just leave them here. I'm not bringing that stuff back up. Kevin, don't be bringing that stuff back up.
We're gonna do next time. We're gonna be
This guy's gonna do his
some deep
research,
research.
expose me on
You
shit.
already know.
Yeah. So you've had a big year.
Yeah.
So you had was it 400,000 streams on Spotify?
Go on, go ahead, brag a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. You know, was it you're on the Canada? Was it the top 50
Yeah.
viral hits in Canada? You came in at what 28?
Yeah.
And as he says, above some Drake tracks.
Okay, yeah. See, that's when you say off the record, that really don't mean nothing. Yeah. No, it's been a great year. So I was working with, I've had the luxury of working with a lot of great people this year, and really kind of, I started by putting like one foot in, but now I'm just in this full time, and I love what I do, and the music that we've been making has been incredible. Obviously, I'm a little bit biased, but whatever, right? As far as bragging, that's not who I am, but I am really proud of what we've done. We did put up a lot of streams on Spotify, and that's a lot of that is thanks to obviously my fans and the curators at Spotify who have helped by placing my music on some great playlists. So that was a great start. Getting in the top 50 viral hits in Canada was a little bit of a shock, but it's overwhelming. You guys got me smiling just talking about it. It's overwhelming. It's an incredible feeling.
You should be proud of that.
I am. I'm extremely proud of it. But like anybody else who's in this industry, it's never enough. You want more. So we're looking to break that the next time around. Apple Music as well. Like I think we're almost at 500,000 streams since since June, which is crazy.
On Apple Music?
Like everything
everything.
together. So it's like this. Looking back at it, many people don't actually know this. I mean, if you've been following me for long enough, you would. But like when I was making music back in 2012 and 2013, I was still a student. I dropped like a little mixtape, and it was called No Fillers. I did some shows here in Ottawa, and things kind of, between school and work, I didn't have much time to focus as much as I wanted on music. But so I took some time off. I was still making music, still doing my thing. And then last year, Carde, my producer, engineer, my best friend, my brother, my family, he's like, he pulled me in this. He didn't really give me much of a choice. Anytime I wanted to give up in any sort of way, he'd just be like, not today. You're coming right back. So now I'm here because of him and the people that have always told me just not to give up. And yeah, you can thank all of them for that number 28 more so than myself.
Cool.
Dope,
So,
man. Dope.
so when it comes to, like, we've had this conversation before.
We have?
Yes, I'll get to it. But Lebanese people, for some reason, like when you look at the Ottawa music scene, there's a lot of like Lebanese artists. Like there's I think Christine Marie is as well. There's like a few that are what's going on within the Lebanese culture that has produced so many artists, especially in this city. You guys are like
tough
the
question.
That's a big question. That's a big
real tough-
question.
I mean, I can tell you for a fact, it's like music and the arts. It's in our culture, and like from Lebanon. If you pay, I mean, you most likely haven't. Neither of you haven't. That's fine. And maybe you have seen it, but Lebanon's always been in the Middle East amongst the top countries as far as pop culture and music goes. Some of the biggest artists in the Middle Eastern and like that part of the world have been from Lebanon. Some great writers. So
Even in Arabic music.
in Arabic music in general, like
Little secret, I do watch a little bit of
Turkey. Yeah, like,
I do
that's
watch a little
incredible.
bit of Lebanese soap opera from
Yeah,
time to time.
Lebanese soap operas. Lebanese people, for the most part, watch Turkish and Egyptian soap operas. But point being, that part of the world, we have our cultures. It's fascinating in the sense that when it comes to the arts and the music, they're very, very good at what they do. So I would say a lot of what could be happening here, it's just maybe hereditary, like it's in our blood. I can't really.
Someone said to me the other day that Lebanese people are like the black people of the Middle East.
I mean,
does that mean?
I've never heard that before.
I've never heard that. I don't know where
If
you
you
got
want
it
to go
from.
as far as saying that, sure, man.
it comes to
I
you.
think black people are the black people of the Middle East.
Oh,
we got,
amen on that.
Or,
Amen on that.
it's like-
or we're the Lebanese people of the Caribbean, or something like
Sure,
that.
yeah. No, it's crazy for me. Like for myself, it's my grandfather from my father's side. I've never had the luxury of meeting him, but he was a writer. He was a poet, and he used to write all the time. And a lot of his lyrics actually show up in some of the songs that have come out in the last 10 to 15 years in our culture in Lebanon, which is something I didn't know until recent years. My dad was telling me about it, and he had like an old tape. And then he got it put onto a CD, and I got to hear my grandfather sing.
Wow, that's crazy.
Which was crazy, right? So I didn't know that. And then one thing that I forgot who was telling me this. One of my family members was telling me, like, your grandpa used to freestyle. It's like a muel. So he used to come up with these things on the go. Like he'd be in the village in the valley, and he'd start just talking about what's around him, and people would just gravitate towards him. So stories like that, they first of all inspired me more so to do what I'm doing now. But it made me feel like, okay, like, there's more to it than just, hey, I woke up one day and I want to do this.
Now,
Like, it's in me.
Now, that's on your father's side,
That's
right?
on my father's
Is your father a musician at all?
No.
So that's one of those weird things that just skips a generation.
Yeah,
just
I guess
gets
maybe.
passed on to you.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of it's interesting because that has a tendency to sort of happen.
Mm-hmm.
Now, another thing I want to ask you is that recently, or I don't know how recent really, you went through that transition where you were making music as like a part-time gig, and then you just step into your whole identity as a musician. Like, tell us more about like how that transition happened and what pushed you to commit to the artist persona.
Like happiness. If I were to say one thing, there's nothing that makes me happier than making music.
Okay.
And getting in the studio with Carde or another artist or writing. I've worked a lot of jobs, retail, public, private, and the one thing that would always be lacking was like this sense of, am I happy where I'm at? Like, do I wake up every day? Am I doing something I want to do? Or am I just doing it based off of necessity? And this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, but I'm never really going to, be happy with where I'm at. And nothing really brought me that joy as much as just picking up pen and pad, or even, well, nowadays it's mostly on your phone.
Yeah.
But I still write here and there on a piece of paper and pen and pad. But that's what really kind of brought me into it. It's like I felt like I was in this vicious circle.
Yeah.
I was waking up every day and there was something on my shoulders, and it was weighing me down. And it was this whole idea that if I don't try this now, and while I'm at this age that I'm at,
You won't forgive
I'm
yourself
never gonna.
later.
Well, I'm not gonna forgive myself. Here's the thing, man. Like, everyone's got a path in life. Everyone's got their own timeline. You can't be comparing yourself to where everybody else is at. You got to compare yourself to where you're at. It's like your own world. And I told myself, if I could easily, I could graduate, which I did. My parents were proud of me for that, and I did that for them. I did it for me as well. But I could maybe find somebody that I'm going to love forever and have kids and go the whole, get a job, 9 to 5,
Buy
do
a house.
that. But when I'm at that age of like 40 and I have those kids, and I'm not saying I wouldn't be happy. And I'm mad props to all parents out there.
You're talking about. I'm almost 40 and I have kids, so you're like talking. You're like.
But look at what you're doing. No, but look at what you're doing. Though.
I'm just joking.
For real though.
No,
But look at what you guys are doing, right? It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah,
You're creating this platform for people like me to come out and talk and preach and tell our stories, which is incredible. So thank you for that.
For sure, man. Appreciate it.
But so that's what I'm saying. I told myself, if by the time I'm 35, 40, and I have all those other things, but I never tried to do what I wanted to do, I'd regret it. So that's what really kind of pushed me over the edge. That and the help of my family and my friends. It'd be hard to do this without the support of people that actually have been there since day one.
Yeah.
And I commend all artists that kind of go against the grain. I've had to go against it in certain areas, but luckily these days, I feel really blessed and happy to be where I'm at.
With that transition to I'm going to do this full time, I'm going full speed ahead. What would you say was the hardest part of that? Because I think, especially in the city here, we've got a lot of artists who are kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Right?
Yeah.
I'm doing this
in many areas. A lot of people
Right,
here more so, but you can find people like that everywhere.
Right,
I get what you're saying.
So what would you say is the hardest thing that made that transition?
It's a sacrifice, man. I feel that unless you're already established in the music industry, friends, family, and more so acquaintances, people that know you, find it hard to get behind you because you don't have that that massive social media presence, or you're not being pushed by massive labels and all that. So it's tough because you see all these people that you thought. I'm not saying that you thought they were friends, but they're not really. Like, people that you thought that were there for you, like really there for
On
you.
a real support
on a
level.
real support level, right? Only to find out that it wasn't really like that. And no hard feelings kind of a deal. That was the hardest thing. It was, you change as a person, and people start saying, "Oh, you've changed," and like, "Well, what, you expect me to stay the same?" No, I got to move. I got to evolve. And then people get left behind. And
It's like they take it personally.
They
in certain
take it
ways.
personally,
Like,
like,
how dare you?
and
How
that's-
dare
yeah.
you evolve towards that other person that I don't know, that I can follow? You
And
know?
the hardest thing was just sacrificing my time. And right now these days, if I'm not making music, or I'm not here, or if I'm not, it's like I'm either at home with my family, or that's pretty much it. It's like music and this, like the music and my family. That's all I really do. And it's hard for some people to understand that, and I get that. That's been the hardest thing, is sacrificing pretty much almost not everything, but a lot, just to kind of take this seriously. Because I can only take this as seriously as I take myself. So
Okay.
if I'm not serious about it, then no one's going to take me seriously.
But it's amazing now seeing you kind of, now you're full time in it, looking back at it and saying, it was worth the sacrifice.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm not even where I'm going to be.
Right,
That's
right.
like, I know I'm so happy where I'm at, but I'm confident there's so much more to do. And just to see where I'm at right now, the sacrifice in the grand scheme of things was a small thing. There's going to be so much more to come.
So do you feel like, looking at where you want to go, do you feel like there's still more sacrifices to make between here and there?
Yeah, for sure. I don't know what
I don't
they
want to
are.
be one of them. Okay.
I don't know. I don't think y'all even know. It's not like that. It's not like that. No, I feel you. I think we can all agree that sacrifice is just a part of life, right?
Yeah, of course.
It comes in many different shapes, forms. You just don't know what it's going to be until it happens, until it hits you. It's like, this has to happen. And it's a tough decision, but some of the best things in your life come from those tough decisions. So,
But then at the same time, on the happy notes, there comes a lot of rewards.
Of course.
From, you know what I mean?
Of
From
course.
discovering, there's a sense of confidence that
Hell
comes
yeah.
into discovering who you're meant to be and stepping, whoever it is. The thing is that I feel like and I'm asking for your point of view at the same time. When it comes to that, I feel like there's a certain sense of fear that arises from stepping into the unknown, because like we all came before all of this started. We all came from very stable industries, stable day-to-day jobs and whatnot, and we kind of there's something
Shit,
exciting.
huh?
I find that for us, the people who are in it. Once you take the leap of faith, there's a certain thing that excites you about not knowing
If you're
what
gonna pay your
tomorrow.
bills or not.
No, that too. I don't know. In the freelance world, and that's kind of what an artist is. In the freelance world, your paycheck is always different. You never know, but there's something exciting about knowing that you have to create your way out of your whatever sort of misery. You know what I mean? And that's something I always wanted the conversation I always wanted to talk to you about, because you've made that transition. And you have absolutely no regret, no fear. You're just like in it, and that inspires me so much.
I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Man. That's if people can draw inspiration from what I'm doing, then I'm doing something right.
Yeah,
That makes me happy. I'm not here to spread negativity. I just want people to know that you can really do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
On that note, it's I think humans innately we like stability.
We do,
like
yeah.
structure.
Yeah.
We like everything
Control and
everything to kind of be A, B, C, D, and so on and so forth.
Course.
It's linear in that
course.
sense. But there's a lot of us, and I feel like some of the greatest things in the world have come from those people who kind of wanted to step outside of that box.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm going to step outside of the box and change the world just yet. I mean, I'd love to think that I can do that. And I feel that that's the first step, is just feeling that you have something in you that just won't allow you to be a normal person, whatever normal is. So,
and I think the average person though wants that. I think the average person wants, even for us, we get messages from people that are always like, "Man, you're inspiring me." For me, I have like friends from Toronto who are like, they have families, they're in stable jobs, and they message me like, "Yo, like keep inspiring us." Like, "Yo, how are you juggling marriage, kids, and you're doing what you're doing?" And it's like, how are you doing it? And they want because I think the average person wants to chase the dream, they just don't know how, and I think they need people to go ahead, like even say like Drake. Like Drake created a blueprint. Like now everybody's like, oh, there's a blueprint now. It's easier for us because we know the way. Right. And I think even for, like what we're doing is like we're creating our own platforms and stuff. And I think a lot of people are now like, oh shoot, like there's a blueprint now. So I think it's up for us who kind of have that entrepreneurial drive to, in a sense, create that blueprint for people of how to chase the dream. And
Do you think the how is the part that scares people, or it's the what if? The what if this fails? What if I go full steam ahead and now this fails?
Definitely that.
Yeah, it's definitely
It's definitely. I mean, I think the fear. It's funny. I was having a talk with somebody about that last night. It's like, do you want to do something, or are you scared of what could potentially happen? And that's where the whole idea of like sacrifice comes in. Right? It's like, if you want to do something, but you're scared of the outcome. First of all, you're scared of something that you don't know is going to happen. Like, you have no idea. But with that sacrifice, so you got to sacrifice a few things to find out. The difference between the people that make it far or the people that change the world is they're not afraid of failing. They're not afraid of saying,
it's part of the process.
It's a part of the process. They're not afraid of just putting their foot out there.
Yeah.
Like just putting your best foot forward and seeing where it takes you. And that's where, like, if you have that vision, if you have that flame, if you're inspired and you just feel like you're meant to do something greater, that fear kind of just goes away.
Yeah. Like that's the reason why when I talk to someone like you, because when people come to us asking, how did you guys put this together? When we talk to an artist, people want to know, how did they get the platform that they have? They want to know like the quick shortcuts. You know what I mean? They want to know there's none, absolutely none. They want to know they don't want to hear about all the the all-nighters and all that kind of stuff that happened. And me, I'm interested into, especially with someone like you, into like, okay, what were the moments where you decided to commit to that specific thing, or when you decided to walk through that one door, or even though like you felt like you wanted to quit, all that kind of stuff, because those moments happen way more often than the moments of success. The moments of success are just the ones that we shine light upon. You know what I'm saying?
Every moment of success I've had of any sort has come right after a moment I failed.
Oh, there you go.
Like every time something really. And that's a test to anyone's character. Like, I'm not saying like I'm the most confident person in the world. There are nights where I question myself. I doubt my abilities. It's normal. You're human. And if you don't, you're a sociopath.
Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, but some of my best work, some of my best music, some of my best moments, some of my best decisions have come after some pretty dark times.
Yeah.
I was put in, whether it be family, whether it be music-related problems, whether it be friends, you know, in self-reflection, just sitting down, really thinking about, okay, what's the next step? Even after I failed, even like, okay, this song didn't work out the way I wanted it to, or, you know, this plan that I had kind of fell through, or this person that guaranteed me something, it didn't happen. So what's the next step? And that's what really separates the people that are going to go far with the people that are okay with just being in that vicious circle. It's like, you cannot let those things stop you. There are a lot of people out there, naysayers, that don't want you to succeed. Like, that's like DJ Khaled. People think it's a joke and like, bro, but like some of the shit he says is fucking real.
Not
man.
just some, a
Like,
lot
they
of
don't
it.
want to see you win. That's facts. A lot of people
Yeah.
don't want to see you win.
Yeah. Because they
but the
want to
only
believe
thing
that the
matters
cycle
is,
works. Yeah.
do you want to see you win?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, even if you're down and you're failing and like something didn't go right, it didn't go well.
Yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna cry about it, or are you gonna try and figure out what the next step is? Right?
Yeah.
And that's the reason I am today. It's like I did my crying too about it.
Yeah.
Like, I've had moments where I was bitching and moaning about certain things, but then there's that one moment where it's like, okay, on to the next.
I want to talk to you about my favorite song of yours, 4 or 5.
Hey.
Because I'm someone who I've made it public before because I think it's important that we remove the stigma from it, that we struggle with a lot of anxiety. And, sleepless nights, you know what I mean? You're looking at the clock, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, you look 3 seconds later, it's 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I want to address that part of yourself too, as a creative person who deals with, those moments. Talk to us about like how exactly it affects you and how do you deal with it? How do you handle it besides, creatively and all that kind of stuff?
I mean, those moments, so like 405 was, when I look back at that track, when I look back at all of Restless, the whole idea behind it was the name of it, the title itself kind of speaks as to how I was been feeling. I had been feeling, not just me, everybody, people around me. I get really, I feel the energies around me. I feel the people, the environment around me. Right. There's a time in my life because I was working 2 jobs at one point. I was at school as a full-time student. And that was my life. It was like I would come home after a long day, and it's funny, I'd be tired, but then I get home and it's like all of a sudden I got all the energy in the world and I can't sleep. And that's where I do all my best thinking, and that's where I do my writing.
Yeah.
Like 2,
Your best
3,
idea comes
4,
on, yeah.
And then before you know it, it's 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. And
Yeah.
a lot of people in this industry will tell you that they're up to the same times. And I feel it's just that's the way our minds work.
Yeah.
Mind you, a lot of people aren't, so that's fair. But the whole process behind it is that, I've struggled with anxiety for a long time. I've gone through my phases of depression. I have a lot of close friends of mine who've also gone through it. And it's nice to see nowadays that the stigma behind like mental health, et cetera, it's evolved. People are getting it.
Yeah.
The whole point behind that song is, I was trying to show that everyone goes through it.
It's important.
Myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is important. I did not know that when I made that song, like when Cartier and I made that, I did not know how big of an impact or how big it was going, like how widespread it would get. I had no idea.
I think the reason why it has the impact that it has is because people look at us, people who, have the chance to, even the people behind the camera who are helping us right now, people have the chance to work in something that passions them. They have a tendency to believe that all this anxiety, the depression, that it just goes away. There's a magic formula. And whenever we have people that we can talk to about those things, I think it's important that we explain to people like, no, we go through those things too. And I like the fact that you take the moment to be real and address those things. You know what I mean? No matter where you go. And I do want to encourage you to keep doing that.
Of course,
because
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
With Restless, the whole idea behind it is like there were some tracks that were obviously a little bit more up tempo, but the idea, the concept behind it is always like I want to come as real as I can to a track, and that project I love because it was a great reflection of how I was feeling and who I was for the last year and how I feel at that time. I've gone through some phases where, over the years we've made many different records. We've done some hip hop, jazz, some techno, some EDM type stuff.
Yeah.
You'll probably never see the light of day, so don't stress people.
I would still love to hear. I
Yeah,
know
not
you would do
happening,
that.
but just chill the fuck
Let's
out.
let's
Kevin,
press
sit
it a
down.
We're gonna hire
little
some
bit.
hackers and like
Let's yeah.
get into your iCloud and
It's gonna be a fucking problem. It's not going down like that.
But I do think I think I wanna hear a little bit more about kind of where the inspiration. If you're telling me you're doing this EDM stuff, this jazz stuff,
Yeah.
where the hell do you find the inspiration as a hip hop head and a hip hop artist to be doing stuff like that? Whether it's experimental, whether this is stuff you're really
Well, okay,
torn
so
in for.
yeah, no, it's a good question. So the first song, I think I told Kevin this, first hip hop song I ever heard was grade 6. They had, you remember computer classes?
Yeah.
They sit on those little bubble
Right.
computers.
Yeah.
And I run, I kept my computer, and I sit down, I went on, it was Napster. I don't know if that's a thing. Shout out Napster. if it's still a thing. And the video for In the Club by 50 Cent.
Yo, yeah.
That was the first video I ever seen.
Me too,
And the
actually.
dude drops upside down.
Yeah.
Shit, it's crazy. You imagine in grade 6 how old was I? Like, I influenced
And
the
that was a
shit out of me.
banger, yeah.
Still is, bro.
Still is.
To this day. You go
Absolutely.
anywhere in the Middle East, we're talking about the Middle East.
Yeah.
That is a certified
I heard.
classic.
Yeah,
Certified
yeah,
classic
yeah,
everywhere in the
yeah.
world. Anyway, so I heard that, then I heard PIMP, and I heard 21 Questions. And those like kind of, I was like hip hop rap. This is incredible.
Right.
It was unbelievable. I started writing right then and there. And I started writing, and then as I was kind of growing up more, I started listening to more music and more music. So I used to listen to like Blink 182, Yellow Card, like rock, AC/DC, a lot of stuff like that. And that's just because I love music. I love the whole idea of music, everything. I never really got into country and all that. I commend them. Do your thing. Still, it just wasn't for me.
I'll send you
so.
some stuff you might like. I
Yeah, you
got you.
think so?
Yeah,
Run me the link. I'll check it out. But so I grew up listening to a lot of different music, and then there was a phase where like I was listening to I liked EDM. I liked techno and things like that. Like David Guetta. He's one of the first person I heard as far as in that genre of music. So over the last 7 years since No Fillers, hip hop has always been what I want to do.
Right.
That's me. It's always like when I grew up. We've talked about this. Grew up listening to like after I heard 50 Cent, I was like, okay, Jay-Z. It was like, okay, Nas, NWA, Biggie, Pac, and then it just opened up this whole door. And then obviously in 2009, when I heard Drake, So Far Gone, which just got re-released.
Yeah, re-released, yeah.
A lot of people out here like, did you hear his new album? Like, bro, where have you been? This music's been out for so long. It's incredible. And then things like 808 and Heartbreaks and Kid Cudi's album and stuff like that, that made me realize that hip hop is changing, that I need to change as well. So I grabbed all this influence from everywhere. So in order for me to change and adapt and kind of figure out where I want to go with hip hop, I wanted to try everything. And that's what we did. Cartier and I, we did a jazz, or was it jazz? Let's just call it jazz. It was like a jazz type record called Brown Sugar. We did another.
It's a little bit of soul vibe.
Oh,
to
it was.
Okay.
Maybe one day.
Okay.
Some cool stuff, man.
I love that. I love that stuff. That's
Yeah,
my
so we
favorite.
did that. And then
That's
we
my
did,
favorite stuff.
We did an EDM hip hop track called Fade Away. None of which have been released, not on SoundCloud anywhere. But like one day, who knows?
Have fun with it,
I
man.
did, but the whole point behind it is that's how much I love music.
Right.
Okay.
It's like I just wanted to create. I was just a creator, and I wanted to create, and that's what we did. Every time we went in there, we had fun. And then it led to Haven Nights the first time around, and I did daydreaming, and that really daydreaming really changed things for me. It changed the whole sound I wanted, my vision with how I wanted things to go.
Yeah.
And before
That was a
daydreaming,
big track,
bro,
by
it was
the
a big
way.
tune. I loved it.
Can
And
we
I
talk
still-
about that? That was a Daydreaming was a
Man, the
huge
whole
track.
project, so Haven Nights was done
Yeah.
before that track.
Yeah, okay.
Like we essentially had the project done, then we made Haven Nights.
Yeah.
Or sorry, we made Daydreaming. Like, okay, well this changes a lot.
Yeah,
So we did
yeah.
the rest of Haven Nights in like a month.
and
Based off of that.
And is it Cardi that Cardi didn't like that beat, the daydreaming beat?
Yeah.
No, was it Cardi that didn't like it? Was it you?
No, it's Cardi.
Cardi-
So we
Cardi,
did studio
Cardi's one of
audio.
those producers
Cardi
that
was
Audio
rinsed when he
Valley.
made that
Bro,
beat.
this is twice.
He
Hold
almost
on.
throws away
We're gonna break this
classics.
down right
Cardi
now.
was rinsed when he
We're gonna break
said
this
that. I
down
swear
right
to
now.
God.
So don't. There was a first track, "Don't Sleep," and that was a skeleton. And he sends that to me, and I'm like, God, what in the? Actually, he didn't send it to me. I heard that beat when we were rehearsing for a show back in January of last year, and I was like, Yo, what the fuck is this? Shit's crazy. He's like, Oh, it's nothing. I was like, Send it my way. Say less. Just send it to me. I'll take care of the rest.
Say
I
less.
did "Don't Sleep," and he ended up changing the beat on me after the fact because he was so mad with the beat, the original beat.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, cool. I love you. We're gonna let this slide. I was like, okay, but he hated that beat. On God. Next time around, Daydreaming comes around. We're in Studio A at Audio Valley. He looks at me, he goes, He goes, I got a beat for you. Like, man. He hits me. Like, what do you mean, man? Just run the beat. Let me hear it.
Yeah.
I hear it. I wrote Daydreaming within the hour, and we recorded that within the hour.
Unreal.
It was that beat hit me so damn hard. I was like, you are fucking stupid. But I love you.
But you love
but
me.
what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Like, this shit is unreal. Like, if you hear the production in Daydreaming, just throw my vocals aside for a second. If you just hear the production, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to me in that studio that day. I heard it. I was like, this is, what is this? And I just started writing to it on the spot, and we got it done, and that's that. And that changed the rest of everything. That led to Restless. That led to the next couple of, this whole year upcoming, some great music coming. So,
Unreal.
Thank you, man.
thank you.
Now so and you have some like new music coming up eventually. Like what just for the fans, like what can we anticipate over the rest of 2019 from Salem?
True. That was going on.
It's gonna be good.
Okay,
It's good. As far as details,
just wait and see.
nothing's set in stone just yet. There's a lot going on. There will be some singles. There will be some music videos, and I'm thinking about maybe doing a Haven Nights Part 2.
Ooh, that'd be good.
So you said that earlier. I didn't know if that was like a private thing, but see if you want to announce
Well,
it.
it was.
Good.
You
Okay,
put
well,
me on the spot.
I was trying not to.
You heard it here first.
I was trying not to.
Might be a Shifter exclusive, huh? Might be. I've been working on it, and
Yo, that would be crazy.
I think so. I think I still got more to say. So
Nice. Well, thank you so much for this. Was
I was just excited top fives. And
That's
top
what
10
I
hip-hop.
wanted to hear too,
That's what I
dog.
wanted to hear too.
Man.
Too late, I guess.
yeah, we're kind of getting to the end, but that just means you need to come back.
Oh, well, hey man, I'm
Yeah,
here.
you're welcome here anytime, man.
Exactly,
I
man.
appreciate that.
Shoot us a call and
You're welcome to sit on.
barge in the studio, man. Like anytime, man.
Appreciate it.
Your
Just kicking
family
the
here.
doors.
Just go for it.
Who's your next interview? Who are you interviewing next? I'm gonna come in, just come sit right here and be like, "What's up, y'all?"
You gotta wait and see.
Oh, I gotta wait and see.
You gotta wait
Yeah,
and see.
you
man.
gotta wait and see.
Okay, well,
Where can people find you, man?
y'all can find me on all social media. I gotta look that way. Okay, hold up. No. What's up, y'all? Y'all can find me on all social medias outlets. That's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I think Snapchat. I don't really use Snapchat, but definitely Snapchat. SVLM Music. That's SVLM Music. Hit me up, y'all. Don't feel free to DM me as well. I always answer.
Yeah,
I'd love
slide
it.
in.
Just
Slide in.
yeah.
Say what's up.
I was gonna say something, but let's not.
What you gonna say?
No, but the whole sliding in the DMs thing. Let's not go there.
I got time.
And Reda, yes. Where can people find you? Our very special guest.
I'll take that. Extremely special. Reda Zarrug at everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, it's all at Reda Zarrug.
And you can check out his columnist page. He has his own page on the website, shiftermagazine.com /Reda-Zarrug. So make sure to check that out.
Please do.
I'm Vlad Ayiti. You can find me everywhere at Just As Vlad. That's every social media platform, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all that stuff. My bad. I'm looking over there.
Let's have to look at the camera. You gotta look at them right there.
Yo, if y'all don't know, there's like 15 cameras in the spot.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I don't know which one to look at. We got homeboy back there. Just like, look at this thing.
And you can find me on Twitter at Kevin R. Bourne and on Facebook and Instagram at Kevin B. Unfiltered.
Shout out, y'all.
Peace.